you guys doing today? My name is Anima, and today we have a post-commentated Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle for you all, this time against Big Dog, otherwise known as Mike Platt. You'll recognize the Ulquiorra that's been floating around in the comments section. Hello, Mike Platt. Thank you so much for appearing on the channel today. There will be a question of the day at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Can we get this video to 50 likes? That would just be insane. Is that even possible? I don't know. You decide. So, let's hit play, and you'll see precisely what I saw. This is an NU tier match, and yeah, it was pretty damn interesting. Very, very close, so I suggest you stick around to the end and see if my soul got crushed or not. Let me tell you, my soul is feeling pretty crushed right now, so just stick around to see to the extent of which it got crushed. So, I decided to leave with my Torkoal because I don't really see a spinner on the team, and I know that hazards are always very essential. I want to get my rocks up, and he leads with the Pangoro, which kind of gets me to believe that it's probably Scarfed. I want to go for the Stealth Rocks, get that residual damage across as he goes for the Crunch. It does a ton of damage, but that's because I am actually max HP, max special attack, specially defensive nature. What? I don't know, it's a bit of a weird new thing I'm trying. This team is a bit interesting, I do like it. But after getting my my rocks up, I decided to go for the Lava Plume because I thought, man, that'll just be great. It'd be great to try and snag a burn on this thing. It does do a decent amount of damage, but I'm thinking of just changing this thing's nature to Modest because I need to snag the extra bits of damage. And I could have gone for the Earth Power here, but I really just wanted to get the burn on the Pangoro, so I went for a second Lava Plume, and unfortunately, out comes the Dragalge, who can just swallow that up easily enough. And I kind of thought the way he brought in suggests it has a Water type move, so I decided to bring in Lifesaver, and I was a bit scared. I was like, Mike! During the live, I was like, Mike, don't do this to me, man, don't do this to me. But thankfully, I didn't get burnt, which was extremely nice. And we go for the Ice Punch, Life Orb Ice Punch, Jolly Nature, and it doesn't kill. It's not stab though, so it's not really surprising, and the Dragalge is able to get off a Thunderbolt. I'd be very interested to know your EV spread, Mike, because that was I couldn't imagine my bloody Dragalge taking an Ice Punch, Christ. So I go into my Rotom Fianny, just to spook the Dragalge, and he wants to save it for Death Fodder, and I wasn't really particularly certain as to why, but you know, Death Fodder is very useful indeed, and I go for a Choice Specs Modest Natured Air Slash. This is actually a bulky Scrotum fan, so yeah, my fanny is very bulky indeed. Make of that what you will. I switch into Tiki at the predicted Giga Impact. Tiki is my defensive wall. I was like, I'm just gonna take it, live with like 2 HP, and then go for a T-Wave. No! That's not what happens, as my pussy cat gets destroyed by this creature. It's very bad, but I get the free switch into Ulquiorra, and this is a very odd Cacturne. It's very weird. It's mixed max attack with Drain Punch, Sucker Punch, and Giga Drain. I mean, if you get the name, then you'll understand kind of why it has the moves it has. Anyway, I went for the Sucker Punch, just hoping maybe he would try and stay in just to break my sub, but he chooses to preserve the Slaking, which is a great decision on his behalf. He's very conscientious about preserving his Pokemon, as you'll see throughout the game. So I went for the Drain Punch. It's not stab. Even if it's super effective, it will not kill. Don't be ridiculous. It's a goddamn Steedix. Steedix is extremely bulky, and this Drain Punch is going to do sweet bugger all. So he's seen the Sucker Punch, so he's not particularly afraid of my Dark type moves. So he goes into Beheeyem, expecting to take another Drain Punch as I go for the Giga Drain, and this actually does a decent amount for not being invested in special attack. I'm telling you, mixed attackers are the future. They are the way, and I love them very much. We're going to get that second Giga Drain off. It's going to do a handsome amount of damage as this thing goes for the Cosmic Power, and I verbally oh-shitted at this point because I was like, I just need to try and kill this thing now. This thing's officially a problem. So I want to go for that next Giga Drain, that desperate Giga Drain, get it down to red. Doesn't quite work out, and I know how this is gonna go. It's gonna stall me out, and I'm going to die. So I went into Pudding because I have Toxic on Pudding, and I thought I can take any one hit this thing goes for. It's totally fine, even if it is a sodding Beheeyem, and it can kill me very dead. I mean, if it had Focus Blast, might be a different story, but we go for the Toxic, and we are able to land it, which is superb. My purple Pudding, landed the Toxic, and it was wonderful. Unfortunately, he does have the Synchronize instead of the Analytic, which did surprise me. And he goes for the Psyshock. That does so much damage. If he had Analytic, I don't even want to know what kind of damage that would have done. But Toxic is the only way we're going to get rid of this Beheeyem because of the way that things are going here. We just have to try and kill it right now. before it sets up all over my face and destroys me. But I'm expecting like another like Psyshock or whatever. I can't take another one, so I go into Entei actually as fodder. I was debating switching into Ulquiorra to take the psychic move, but I was like, that is so risky, it's unbelievable. It's so risky, it's unbelievable. It's just not worth the stress. So he's gonna go for some shadow balls, lobbing his balls into my turtle's face. My turtle has mixed feelings about this and faints in shock, I can assume. And Behem is sitting pretty, kinda, not really that pretty, getting the life orb damage and the toxic, which is finally starting to rack up. So I go into Ulquiorra just to scare this thing, because I know I strongly felt I was faster than it, so I could just sub in its face and so on, and let the toxic do the work once it's picked up the momentum, you know? So Dragalge comes out, as I go for the substitute. This is fine, this is great. This is what Ulquiorra does. He's set up a sub on a switch, and then you Drain Punch, Sucker Punch, and Giga Drain, whatever the hell you want, and you just live. You just sit there and live with your leftovers, you just live. You can beat with priority because Cacturne is powerful. You can hit things on the special side with Giga Drain, get tons of health back, go into friggin' Ordino and regenerate stuff. It's just, that's the point of this team, but it does lack coverage. So we go for the Drain Punch just to finish off the Dragalge, to be honest. And out comes the Gorgeist, and I was like, oh, tits, I can't touch this thing. So I do decide to switch out, just fearing it, just fearing what it could do. And I go into Puddin, just in case of shenanigans. And my opponent goes to the Phantom Force, and this is actually really great for me. And I do believe Mike was thinking to go for the Phantom Force because that gets around sub, it gets around protect, I think, to my knowledge. So that would have been damaging, but regardless, it wouldn't have done too much damage, but it would have gotten around the sub, so I go for the Heal Bell, just to get rid of my friggin' Toxic because of the synchronized Behem. Oh my lord. And yeah, we are able to sort of be kind of okay. The synchronized, I'm not mocking it at all because I had to like inconvenience myself getting off the Heal Bell. And he is gonna go for the Seed Bomb. I didn't actually expect this. I kind of expected him to switch out. So I went into Ulquiorra and I was like, oh shit, well, what am I doing here? And out comes this really hairy situation with very risky plays happening right now. I went for the Giga Drain, hoping for a switch, expecting him to predict me to go into Ordino. And he goes for a Seed Bomb, predicting me to go into Ordino, but he could have gone for the Will-O-Wisp, but it was just like layers of scariness. And at this point, he still has a ton of his Pokemon left, and I'm down to like, I don't know, not many at all. So I have to go into Pudding now. And Pudding's at full health again because the Regenerator is fucking broken. And now he's gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. And I was like, oh my god, that could have been me. Well, Ulquiorra's like, oh my god, that could have been me. And yeah, that would have been very, very terrible indeed. But yeah, so Pudding is just here and she's queer and it's terrible. And I wanted to go for the Toxic. I wanted to Toxic the Gorgeist like years ago, but I was really fearing him going into Steelix at some point, which is why I went into fucking Cacturne in the first place. Anyway, so out the Toxic comes because I was like, I need that plant to get Toxic. But he switches into Pangoro, and Pangoro is a monster. I get the feeling this thing is Scarfed, I truly do. But I'm not completely certain. Just because it's a lead, and leads tend to be speedy, and Pangoro has the parting shot, so that does actually make it a pretty decent lead, because you can weaken stuff and get a safe switch into something else. So, he's gonna go for the Storm Throw, and that's gonna kill Ordino so hard. Ordino's just dead, beyond dead. I'm sure Ordino's ancestors felt that. And now we're gonna go into my Fanny, and Pangoro is locked into Storm Throw, I believe, outspeeds my Fanny, which is very disturbing. And I go for the Air Slash. I'm actually a bulky Rotom, so max HP, max special attack with specs, and it's just kind of jokes really. So out comes Steelix, gonna take absolutely negligible damage from the rocks, which is just super. And I'm gonna go for the Air Slash, miss! Which is very upsetting, as my opponent goes for the Curse. Now it's very important that I actually was the weird, pardon me, my goodness gracious, the weird not speedy set that I was, because I'm going to go for this Air Slash. It's going to do a shit ton of damage, all things considered. And this Gyro Ball at +1 is going to do really, really not much at all, but if I was like a Scarfed variant, if I was like the timid, usual thing, that could have killed me. That really could have killed me. I mean, Steelix's attack power isn't amazing anyway, so it's not that surprising it didn't kill, but if I was speedy, it certainly could have. So out comes Hugs. I really don't want to get hugged by Hugs. Hugs is just kind of frightening, really. And Hugs goes for the Giga Impact, and that's gonna destroy my fanny. How dare you? I value that, you know, I really do. And I'm gonna go into Ulquiorra, who's just gonna try, god damn it. And I go for the Giga Drain, just trying to kill Hugs, because apparently Ulquiorra doesn't like to be hugged. And we're going to get a little teensy-weensy bit of health from that, and the lefties, which puts us at a comfortable range to get up substitutes and stuff. So out comes Gorgeist, and it's going to get a little schmick of damage from the rocks, and we're going to be able to set up our substitute, folks, because if this thing goes for whatever, it's fucking over. Because I'm just guaranteed going to die eventually, and my attack power is severely, like, neutered and stuff. It just wouldn't be very good for me. So I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. And it's going to actually do decent damage to the Gorgeist, all things considered. Like, all things considered, I'm not invested at all. So it's really not bad, and he can't Leech Seed me if he has it. A, because I'm behind a sub, and B, because I'm a grass type. So it's actually pretty damn good. Pretty damn good indeed. So what proceeds to happen is a Giga Drain thing. Have you ever seen a Gorgeist get beaten by Giga Drain? I don't really think so. It's very weird, let alone from a fucking Cacturne or whatever. Very strange. But yeah, out comes the next Seed Bomb, and I was like, oh my god, because he couldn't break my sub, and I resist Phantom Force. Anyway, so I wouldn't die to it. And my Giga Drain and lefties are keeping me ahead of the game, so to speak. So I went for the substitute instead of just going for the finish off with the Giga Drain, just because I wanted to have a sub for when Behemoth came out, just in case. Because at this point I was like, I had to take down like all of his team with such limited resources, and he had like all of his team left, so I was really hyper cautious of everything that I did from this point on. But this Giga Drain is going to be enough to kill Gorgeist, and I was like, and that was really super. And the last Pokemon is in fact the Behemoth. And this thing is so scary. I was just so afraid of this thing for like the whole game. But thank god I had Giga Drain, because it's actually the only thing that I can really hit this thing with when it's like Sword Powering and stuff. Or Cosmic Powering rather. So he goes for the Shadow Ball, choosing not to prolong the inevitable by going for a cover, which I really do appreciate. And we're going to be able to just sort of see it die to the Life Orb recoil, and that is going to be the game. So thank you so much, Big Dog, otherwise known as Mike, for the battle. I did enjoy it very much so. It was a very close game indeed. Folks, I hope that you enjoyed the match. Hit Mike up on Twitter if you would like. His Twitter link will be in the description down below. I really do hope you enjoyed that. The question of the day is going to be, what's a nice thing you've done for yourself today? I absolutely hope you have something to say in the comment section, because this is good. You should treat yourself very nicely. Today, I made myself a ham and cheese sandwich. It was the tits. The end. Yeah. Anyway, folks, you're lovely. You're absolutely amazing. Don't forget to hit that like button if you are so inclined. But more importantly, take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye!